Chapter 17, 5:10 a.m. The upended submarine continues to sink, slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them, but at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. My head is filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? Eek. I see you managed to survive, Detective. Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance. I seem to have lost my body. Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are? That's right. I came all this way tonight, trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought I was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. I bet you'll remember really soon who you are and who I am too. What? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind, a memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had a deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsic fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. All right, These 10 years, I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research, and I think I've got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently there are individual differences in the powers we get, and it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over the past 10 years. At first I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what it does? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day 10 years ago, a fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart and I died. So of course, I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. Poor Missile. He wasn't doing anything wrong at all. Aren't the Temsik remnants still right there in that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite? One of the characteristics of that meteorite is the ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? Ah, this is all so strange and confusing, I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, the fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. What? My body's vital functions stopped 10 years ago, but my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So I just simply existed, not really alive and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with a scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the justice minister and made him issue the execution order, but I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why you wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsik. Detective Jowd was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanella and the Junkyard Super, they were slated to be wiped out too. And, as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsik fragment, and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, Detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, and you'd become a detective looking into Jowd's case. Tonight, I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago, so of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off, and the first shot missed the mark. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan, anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Aha, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsic meteorite. Because you were looking into the Jowd case, they thought you would find out about Temsic sooner or later. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crush this submarine. Oh no. There are no cores that link from here to the water surface. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and... There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin, a coffin for the dead. There's no escape. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine, sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. Lynn? Camila! Is it true? We're stuck here? What? Oh, If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Oh, Camila, I'm so sorry. That's funny. What is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Temsic fragment and escape, if that's what they wanted? Why did they have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute. Yes, we do! This will tell us where the Detective Jowd is. That present from the inspector in white. That's right. Detective Jowd told me how to hold on, or told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure something out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lynn? Right. Oh, and wait a minute. What about a torpedo? A torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. It looks like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Trick time. All right. What do we got? We got a door, a bottle. I mean, I guess we're going to have to talk to everybody. One thing I was thinking of when they were talking is, you know how he says his name isn't Sissel? It was the blue guys that told us that his name was Sissel, huh? Like we saw it on they showed him on the monitor and they called him Sissel. Wasn't that how we found out our name? Weird, huh? I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long. So his shell is definitely there in the command room, right? Just without the fragment. It's there, yeah, but I don't know about calling it a shell. Detective Jowd's watch will tell us exactly where it is. Right. He said it was a radio receiver, didn't he? There might still be another torpedo on this submarine. If we use it, we can get to Detective Jowd. That's a brilliant plan, Detective. You think so? Heh. So what are you gonna do? Right on top of the torpedo? Of course not. You guys are gonna go. Darn, I kind of wanted to see that. Or like Slim Pickens. Do you want to see me drown? All right. Camila, how have you been? So my dad isn't here on the submarine? Don't worry, we're going to get him right now. Okay. I hope I didn't hurt Lynn's feelings. What I said about my dad saving us if he was here. Oh, don't worry about that. Comments like that just rock right off Miss Little... Fucking Jesus Christ. Comments like that just roll right off Miss Lynn's back. She's really thick-skinned. Ouch. I'm going to start being tougher too. I want to make my dad proud of me. Miss Camila! I'm sure your dad is very proud of you, Camila. Okay. Lamp, what is this? Oh, this is Doggy, huh? Okay, what do we do now? We go find the command room that was launched somewhere into the sea. What? How? Just to let you know, I don't like water very much. According to Lynn, the key to our plan is a torpedo, kind of a missile. Missile? You have a missile right here! I don't think she's talking about that kind of a missile. Now then, where did we see another torpedo? Alright. And we can't do anything with this guy. Wait, did this do something? This didn't do anything, did it? Control panel, operate. Let's operate it. Oh, hello. Oh, the graves. Okay. We got up to here. Dial the telephone. Torpedo room or engine room? Oh no, we have to choose. I mean, they want us to go to the torpedo, so... The torpedo room, huh? There might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're gonna use a missile to ram the control room. Well, I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow Detective Jowd up, but something like that. We'll climb up to the torpedo room, too. Up is definitely safer. Alright, I'll see you there then. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure. I hope I made the right choice. It looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. Yeah, remember, it said that earlier. They're just kind of sideways now. There are 2 tubes, so there should be 1 more left. I guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me. I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. Beep, bop, boop, beep. And I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck. Alright. We can talk to them again. Do we want to? No, I guess we have to see. How's it going there? I'm just calculating the command room's coordinates now. I have to put in a slight offset, though. Don't want to blow it up. I'm sure Detective Jowd would appreciate that. Well, leave this to me. Good luck with the loading of the missile. Okay, thanks. Alright, we can't reach Camila, which might be a good thing. What is this? Turn the valve. Cool valve. Let's go up here. So, this switch won't budge. Maybe it's broken, but I don't think the entire device is broken, though. It would probably work fine if I only can move this switch. We'll just have to find a way to move it somehow. But I can't do it with my powers alone. Okay, so get out of the way. Okay, it doesn't work. I tried to switch the missile. I gotta talk to him first. What will happen to these 2 ladies? I think that's up to us and our powers. What? This is no time to be standing around, unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile? Me? Of course I will. Count on it. Alright, good. Now, let me swap these. It didn't swap. There it goes. Whoops. There we go. Okay, it worked. A torpedo. There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable. All set on this end too. But something's odd. What is? The command room. It looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay. Hop onto the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. Alright, but what about... No! I want to talk to Camila. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Jowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. That instant will be your window, oh no, of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. And then we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Yeah, but let me talk to Camila. I guess I could have as... Okay, come on, missile. Oh, that's why the missiles had two... That's why they had 2 slots. Missile? Oh, the water thing. I'm sorry, I can't go. What? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camila behind. I can't do it! Missile. I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. I can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how it feels. I want you to go, Missile. What? But Miss Lynn! You staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope. But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never, ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camila? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry. Miss Camila! That's a good boy, Missile. Alright, but I wanted to talk to Camila. Damn it, I had to do it as Missile, and I missed my chance. Now are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw the switch. Oh god, it's gonna make me count. We're ready. Alright, we're gonna have to keep count. Sissel? Yes? We never found out who you really were, but that doesn't matter now. All I know is, I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad I met you, Detective. But we're going to see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promise, little lady. Of course we will! I'll never forget you, no matter what happens. Here goes then. Good luck, friend! And I wonder what the control room was. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. But how can a ray of light of hope reach this far down into the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Detective Jowd. I bet that big masked man did this. I'm going to bite him. You better not. You might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Wait, no, it didn't say command room. It said control room, huh? Let's talk to Detective Jowd. Wait, is he dead? I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess we can talk to him anyway because he died before. Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camila? And what about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. Dum-de-dum. I told Detective Jowd about everything that happened on the submarine, Yonoa. So the submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. Well, we do know. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. Are you Yomiel? Yomiel? So you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel. That's right. But those people on the Yonoa were calling you Sissel. Yeah, see, there's that, what I was talking about earlier. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you, right, Detective Jowd? Right. All right, here we go. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but as a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then, one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel. 10 years ago. My soul was split from my body, and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? A new life. Life? I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they help me with my revenge plot, and the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth? A new beginning, huh? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul, a name, an identity, an everyday life. I just wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help me. And their response, in the end, was betrayal. Oops. God damn it! It didn't go down twice! Oh my god, there's a fast forward. I just held B. I could have done that during that long fucking cutscene, and I just did it at the end there to make sure I didn't click A too much. Oh my god, out of all the times to misclick, it's when there's a slow-ass cutscene. Alright, betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And They even figured out what Temsic was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this? None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsic meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanella and the old pigeon guy, huh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then, they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It looks just like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. That park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsic meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsic meteorite. So that's it, huh? So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh? Yeah? That's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What? What good will that do? Now? But we promised! We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them! And we can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Rewind. So, where are we headed? We are not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We will run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too? By the way, I'm not human, Detective. I'm a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective. Grrr. Camilla, forgive me. Don't forget me. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. Trick time. Alright, huh? What is it, Detective? Look at Yomiel's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsic fragment is gone. Could this change in his shell? Give us some kind of lead? I don't know. Let's find out. I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is. What that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped, thanks to the power of Temsic. His body cycled between the moments that separated his life and death. Right, but not anymore. The Temsic fragment has been taken away. Exactly. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Temsic fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. So let's see. That means we can go back to 4 minutes before your death. But wait a minute. Exactly when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out when we get there. Let's move. Rewind again. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever, and then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all of the clues. All I have to do now is remember. Final journey to the truth starts now. Man, what a time to leave off. Yeah, let's save the data. All right, we gotta wait till next time to find out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.